Alright guys, good morning. Here in my grow tent, and just want to do an update regarding two orchids that bloom for me for the first time. These are fairly new orchids for me in my collection, and it's surprising that they adapted really well and started to bloom. I'll start with this one. It's the I'll talk more about them. I'm bringing them over to my table in a bit. But this is the Sedum Adriana. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. It's an orchid that I received in August. So it's located down here. Temperatures 70 Fahrenheit. Humidity is 75%. It's around 8 or 9 a.m. and last night it could have been, the humidity could have been higher and the temperature could have been lower because it's a bit a cool night. I have let's see here. This plant has 3 spikes. Oh no, there's a 4th one here. This is from Andy's Orchids. Got it on August 3rd. 4 months now. This has been a very good grower for me since I got it. It just kept growing new leaves. I have to say it is more tolerant compared to this Hertzii. This Hertzii I had this since last year, or no, January of this year. I actually transferred it to a terracotta pot because it kept growing, but the leaves are starting to brown. So I feel like this species is a more of a cool growing plant. But this one though can tolerate intermediate. So let me get this out of the tent and talk more about it. Alright guys, I'm back here in our makeshift studio. If you can call this, this is just one of the empty rooms where I put all of my stuff in, but it's quieter. I can still hear my kids, so if there's anything I can get to them. So this is the Sedum Adriana. I got it on August 3rd, so it's been more than 4 months. Culture is when potted moist, temperature intermediate, and light is shaded to bright. It came in at a 3-inch pot that where the Hertzii is right now, but this guy just kept growing for me. Most of these larger leaves are new growths since I received this plant, so I decided to move it in a bigger pot and then move the Hertzii from its mount to the 3-inch pot. I find that I'm trying to give it cooler conditions. From what I've researched, terracotta pots help with keeping plants cool, and when I touch this terracotta I realize it's true because this is really cool to the touch, sometimes even cold. So that's what I did, try to see if that Hertzii thrives. And but back to this one, I only water this plant once a week, like thoroughly flush it until I see rainwater drain down the drainage hole. But every other day I would just, when I missed the plant, my mounted orchids that require a lot, like a daily or every other day misting, I would mist them in this only in the top part, not to the point that it gets so soggy wet, because I want to avoid root rot. Basically my mix is just perlite and sphagnum moss. I think there's some bark there, but that's mostly it. And I never paid attention to terracotta pots before, but it's true, it's porous, because the moment I move it here from its dry color, it started to absorb the water. So, and yeah, it's cool to the touch. So I now move 3 other cool growing orchids into terracotta pots. This plant really likes a lot of moisture and high humidity, and the position it was in when I showed you guys is really a high humidity area. But I want to show you the flowers. Let's see. All right guys, so after trying to find the best way to get a good view of this flower, I think this is the best shot I can get. I'm just using a camera phone, but yeah, it looks really nice. So this is actually the first spike, but this it took it longer to actually unfurl, or I don't know if that's the right term, but for it to bloom. But the flowers looks really nice. I apologize for my hands, they're really dry, but the flowers reminds me of the red velvet cakes. I don't know why. I don't think the camera can really show its true color in person, but that's what it reminds me. Those red velvet cakes makes me want to pull out one and eat it. But as you can see, the spike is pretty long and it has blooms on the other side also. Now there was one spike, I'll show you in a bit, that has more flowers that bloomed. However, I mean, I tried to wait for it for the whole length to bloom, and that would be a better show. But this morning when I came in to check, the other the ones on the on this part here already bloomed, but the first flowers already wilted. And so I think, yeah, I have only a couple of days before, you know, some of the flowers die off. And so I figured I'd do the video now because this one here looks the best. Unfortunately, the other one that I was waiting for a week, a couple of those flowers started to die off. But this is a pretty nice show, exactly again how they look when I first saw them online. And I'm very I feel it's a rewarding hobby. They say orchids, you know, they're pretty tough if they don't get what they need, but once you get them going, you know, do you have it's a rewarding hobby for years to come. So that's how the flowers look like. Again, I apologize for my hands, but this is the best way I can get a very nice macro close-up. So again, this is just a makeshift makeshift studio for me. It's not even, but I'll show you guys how big the flower are. I'll just put a quarter here, so that's how big it is or small it is. So yeah, let me show you the other one that I was trying to wait for the whole length to bloom, but again, some parts of it died off. Alright guys, so this is the one that I was observing for a week now. Yesterday, these ones here were just opened, but yeah, when I checked this morning, they're already closed, and then these ones opened up. So unfortunately, I mean, I can't get a good shot of them all open at the same time. So apparently, you know, a few will be open for a couple of days, and by the time the rest opens up, they will start to die off or wilt off. So unfortunately, that's how it works for these flowers. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check online again if there's specimens that have blooms that are open all at the same time. But yeah, that's unfortunate because it will be a really nice picture. Anyway, yeah, Sedum Adriana, really nice plant. I can say right now it's easy if you can give them the intermediate temperature, and then also get them moist and high humidity. So yeah, we'll move on to the to the next plant. Alright guys, so for the next plant, it is this plant. It is the Trichoselping species Peru. Since it's mounted, it's up to daily watering, but I do it every other day, temperature intermediate and shaded to bright. I posted this in a group that I joined, the Mini Orchids Worldwide or something in Facebook. One of the resident experts, there's a note there that is our expert, says it's from Panama, so I'm not sure. But I'll use the label, the notes in the label. But yeah, so this is a new growth. Where is it doing this? Okay, let's do it. So yeah, this is a new growth, and I just added long fiber sphagnum moss on the mount to keep it moist. And here is the bloom. Let me see if I can do a good close up. Let's see here. It did earlier. Let me just fix my camera. Alright, so here we go. I'm sorry if it's a bit shaky. I'm in the tent. But yeah, that's the flowers. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them at the same time. Really nice fused petals. The center looks really cool. And from what I've read, from what I've been doing when I was doing my research, lots of these orchids, their flowers are designed or evolved in a way to attract pollinators. So I'm curious what pollinates this plant, because the flowers are kind of unique. It reminds me of a Restrepia with fused petals. But yeah, really nice. Very happy about this. I had this plant in September. Yeah, so just September 21st, close to 3 months now, and it's a perfect example of one of those species or genus that likes my growing conditions, and it's doing good. I just water this every other day, get it really wet, and since it's mounted, it gets a chance to dry up. So this one is easier to record compared to the Stelis, because the Stelis, the spikes are kind of long, so a little bit of movement shakes the whole plant, and of course the flowers. So this one's easier. Let me check here. So my temperature in this area is around 72, even though it's lower here, it can be even, like, let me check here. So down here, yeah, humidity is 84, temperature 69, but I left the shower curtain open, so that decreased a bit already, but could be around between 70 to 80% in this area here. The mount is really cool again, coming from these orchids. Most of the time, or all of the time, they're well-established plants. So let me try to do another close-up if I can. There, so I don't know what the problem was earlier, but yeah, there you go. So Trichoselping species Peru. It's a gift from my mom and my dad when they visited Andy's Orchids. I think it was the summer open house. So yeah, just want to share to you guys which ones are in bloom. The Muscifera keeps on blooming, but just like these Trichoselpings, the flower is underneath the leaves. So that is one of them. Really cool, non-stop flower. Oh, wow. So this, okay, I'm sorry. So this is 3 species now. We have 3 species that flower today. This just opened. Yeah, let me just pause this. All right, I'm back. So I've been waiting for this plant to bloom because I saw the spike, and I just saw that it spiked today. So really cool. This is the, Wistrepia. Let me just get the tag first. This is the Wistrepia morai. Why is it? Yeah, Wistrepia morai culture. It's mounted when I bought this, so daily waterings. Temperature is intermediate to cold, and light is shaded to bright. And I have a lot of luck with Wistrepias. Okay, as you can see, the Muscifera has flowered, and today this is a surprise bloom. There you go. A really nice. So I've mentioned this before. Wistrepias in general, their flowers look the same, but the colorations are just different, and some difference in patterns. But this one is really cool because it's the petals underneath are fused, that and forms this cup-like it looks cup-like look here. And then this middle part, I forgot what it's called, is very prominent, but you can see this part here is very Wistrepia. So let me show you guys the morai, the Muscifera here. So just a quick look here, and you can see what I meant when I say the flowers in general look the same with a difference in variation. But oh my god, I'm so happy, and there's another spike on its way. So I had this plant just last month, November 17th. So imagine that. So it's a happy plant. It did, yeah, Wistrepias, I have a lot of luck. I'm glad that I have an orchid that likes my conditions here and just keeps on blooming. This is the Wistrepia Falkenberger. Unfortunately, the flowers already fell off, but I had like the last was like 3 blooms, and they do this like every month. They keep flowering. I have the Dodsoniae. This is the keiki. Here's the mother plant. They keep on flowering, but since I removed the keiki, I think it got stressed out, and just maybe in a couple of months it will start to flower, because I have a lot of new growths here. But going back here, very cool. This plant, I also transferred it from a mount, transferred it in a mesh pot, and then put it in here in a terracotta pot. It keeps the moisture in, but from what I know is, from what I read, terracotta pots are also breathable, but they keep the plants cool. The Muscifera I also transferred in a clay pot. It's in a mesh pot, or no, when I ordered this from where did I order this? Orchids by Hauserman. It's in a plastic pot. I just transferred it in a terracotta pot, because I noticed, again, you can see this browning or darkening of this part of the leaves, and from what I've read and from what I've observed, it's caused by they want to be a bit more cooler, except for this Falkenbergia and the Dodsoniae. They do really well. But yeah, I mean, Wistrepias, I just have a lot of luck with these plants. They just keep on flowering for me. So yeah, 3 species, and really cool. So yeah, so temperature down here is 70 Fahrenheit, 80% right now, but it can go up to even 99% humidity. So yeah, it's a surprise bloom. I was just planning to do a video on 2 plants, but yeah, I got a 3rd one. And oh, my Mist King just turned on. There you go. Now it's just in 4 seconds, because since I've decreased the hours that my lights are turned on, so it's more cool now. The mist stays longer in the leaves, and I don't want that, so I just put it in 4 seconds just to keep the humidity up, and then the fans, the air circulation will help to dry them off. So more than a month now, I haven't noticed any like fungal or any death or problems with the plants. But yeah, one last look here. I'm gonna take a picture. So yeah, thank you guys. Happy with this hobby. Very rewarding, especially when you see them flower. My pluritalis are not another plant that keeps on blooming. Very unique flowers. Now I have another spike. Very cool. This plant won't stop blooming for me. Same with the Falconbergii. I want to show you the Barkeria schumacheri. I made a video about it. It's been a month and that single bloom is still right there. So amazing. It's a deciduous plant, so I stopped watering it, but the flower is still doing really strong. No signs of it wilting or dying off. This is the Dendrobium tanii, considered as semi-deciduous. I decided to just water it once a week, but I think this is a spike, so we'll see. I think it is, because that's a new growth, and I'm not sure why that's a new growth when I stopped watering it, but you know what, I'll just let them be. But I think I have a spike, so I'll do a video if it does flower. I had this now more than a year, and just excited to see if I can make it bloom. So yeah, great day. I got the morai. I mean, right now, again, when it comes to Restrepia, I'm confident that I can make them happy and make them bloom. So I'll be collecting more of these plants in the future. So thank you, and have a good one.